Chinese to speak stuff, and then if it comes to a complete stop.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla, and if you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. So in this video, I will address mainly these three questions. I'm going to address the question as to why did I leave China. If you saw my past video about how God supernaturally gave me a visa, you should go ahead and take a look. Then so if you saw that one, you would wonder then, like, why did I then leave? So in this video, I'm going to be answering that question. Number one, why did I leave China? Number two, how did I leave Poland, and how is it like to start over in a brand new country at 25 years old? When I came here, I was 25. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, and that's what I'm going to be addressing. So without further ado, I'm going to just jump right into the video. So I just want to take you guys back to 2024 in January, February, March, April. Okay, so during this time, this is the time when I was about to start to now apply for my visa renewal. In this section right now, I'm answering why did I leave China and like what happened. So this is what happened. I was supposed to start my application, and Eva had told me that unfortunately I'm not going to be able to renew that same graduate visa that I had applied, that I'd gotten before. She told me that the Guangzhou had stopped giving people this visa, and there was just no way of renewal. So she had told me in advance to decide and to go with another option, okay, basically. So I do that. I go on, and I was working with one guy, one agent, and he was helping me to open a company. Everything was going well. Everything was fine. It's quite straightforward. The application process when it comes to opening a company in Sanya, really, and it's also not expensive. It's actually quite okay. So so this is just how everything is like. Though I had been asking God, because I'd been fasting and praying for my visa, of course, and I asked the Lord, like, okay, how is this going to work out? How long am I gonna be here, be able to stay here in China? And through one or two or three dreams, God had really told me that soon I'm gonna leave. I had dreams that were just saying that, I was gonna leave Sanya. I was gonna leave China, but I didn't really want to accept this. Of course, I rebuked these dreams. But yeah, if my voice is sounding husky, I do have a cold, you guys, and I apologize. I just want to put out this video because I want you guys to just be up to date and to just like catch up with my life and where I am now, and then I can start to upload other videos that speak of my most recent events. Okay, so now I'm applying for this company visa. Everything seems to be going well. And then I get to the very last stage, and this is the stage when I'm just supposed to now wait for them to call me to say, okay, now we are verified with the immigration, come apply for your visa, we're gonna give you, and that's when I received a call, and my agency told me, and he said, oh, your visa has been rejected, your application has been rejected. So yeah, and I was like, goodness, I'm not ready to go through this again. Like, I really wasn't. But I do want to note that this time around, I was a lot more calm, and I was a lot more I was just a lot more calm, because I really want to accredit it to my relationship with God, in that I had grown spiritually, and I had been reading the Bible. I'd been praying in such a way that I was quite confident with where I was. I was still living in sin, because I was in a sinful relationship, but I had quite cleaned up a lot of my bad habits, and I think I was progressing. Okay. So yeah, so apparently it was now showing in the system that I had been seeking asylum. And this really goes to testify of how much of a miracle it was for that previous visa, because this visa now 5 months later was rejected based off this asylum seeking record. So now when I receive this news, I go to Guangzhou because I am entitled to get a month from Guangzhou since my other visa was from Guangzhou. So I'm entitled to get a T visa from Guangzhou for a month. So I go there, and then I go to the immigration, and as she was about to give me this visa, and then she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, something like like I can't give you this visa because this T visa, because in the system it shows that you are an asylum seeker. So you need to continue with the asylum seeking process. You are no longer going to be able to get any type of visa." And I was like, what? What's going on? I canceled this. And even I tried to explain, but in my spirit, I knew that I'm not going to make it this time. And so she even called the immigration, like the actual where they actually print the visas, and they explained to her, they said, it's not possible. This person, if you're an asylum seeker, you need to continue with asylum, or you're gonna get 14 days exit visa stamped in your passport. There will be no other renewal. Like this is just law, and this is how things are. So yeah, so it kind of dragged. It dragged for like 2 3 days, and I had to stay in Guangzhou, and I really hated that delay, because it's like things are just delaying, because I was like, okay, fine, now can I have this 14 days? And she said, oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to give you on Monday, because I think I'd gone to the immigration office on Friday, and then she said, oh, you have to wait until Monday. And that was quite annoying for me, because I was like, now I have to stay in a hotel now, like, because I wanted to be at home, like I wanted to get this thing printed, right? If I'm gonna get these 14 days stamped, I get them stamped, it's okay, and then I can go home and I can spend more time just at home, because I just wanted to be in my apartment at home. So yeah, so that's what I did. So anyways, I end up staying in Guangzhou, and then on Monday morning, I remember that morning very well, I went to the immigration, and she called me, and then I got my exit visa stamped. You guys, that was the end of my whole China experience. Yeah, so so between the two options of either continuing with seeking asylum, or getting the 14 days exit visa, I made the hard choice, and I decided that I'm gonna get the 14 days, because I just was not interested in seeking asylum, because when you seek asylum in China, you're not gonna be able to work. You're not gonna be able to work, and it's like, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point of being abroad and you're not gonna be able to earn money? It didn't really make sense. And even if you do work, if you decide to work illegally, they're gonna monitor you so much, and a lot of the times you'd end up being like in prison or something. Like, the stories I heard about this were wild. And I was not trying to, get on that train. So I was like, okay. And I got my 14 days stamped, and I remember the time that I got the visa stamped, you guys, like the moment I just stood up from that chair, I felt so, I don't know, like I questioned God. Yeah, I actually questioned God, and I was literally about to throw a tantrum to the Lord and say, but I prayed, but I fasted. But the Holy Spirit rebuked me, I remember, and he just brought to my awareness that I was being like a brat. And that God's purposes prevail. God's purposes prevail. It's not about how much you pray, how much you fast, how much you do this. God's purposes prevails. Okay, they prevail. And at the end of the day, it was like, was I only praying, was I only fasting, was I only seeking the things of God for a miracle, or was I doing it because I loved him? So this was like, it was a real, like, I couldn't even get like the second to really say but God, because my spirit was just like, no, you actually don't get to do that. Like, you're supposed to, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to trust God, trust that the God that you have been reading about for the past 6 months, that God, trust that he has your life in his hands, trust that he has dominion over all things, trust that he's the one who's in control, and if he let this thing happen, it's because it is meant to happen. And I remember standing up, and the Lord was like to me, you may not understand now, but later you understand. And really, over the next few months, I really did then came to understand I had to leave China. It was a very uncomfortable process for me, but it was necessary. So yeah, but contrary to the previous times, I was a lot more calm, and I just understood that it was God's will. But then came the confusion of like, what am I going to do in my life? Oh, what am I going to do? Where should I go? At that time, my family, some things were going on at home, and like my family were like, just do anything for you to remain abroad. You don't want to come back here. Things are not okay here. So they were like, I remember my dad was like, oh, you can go to Thailand. And I really was thinking about going to Thailand. I was just about to start the visa process for Thailand. So within those 14 days that I was now given, my task now was to figure out, where am I going to go? Like, yeah, what am I going to do in my life now? And like, just like what I'm saying, the one option was for me to go to Thailand. There are many English teaching jobs in Thailand, and it would be quite similar of a life I was living in Sanya. Thailand is a beautiful island as well. It kind of just made sense. I also had spoken to people who already are living and working in Thailand, and they were like, yeah, you come, we can help you. So Thailand seemed like the logical thing to do. But by the grace of God, I did get into a fast. For the first time, I did an Esther fast. So I fasted for 3 days, no food, no water. And I was just seeking the Lord, and I was asking him, what should I do? What to do? Because I had so much confusion. I hadn't booked a ticket until like I hadn't booked a ticket because I had no idea where I was going to go. Was I going to go? Some people would say, okay, maybe I should go to Malaysia. Maybe because Malaysia, I wouldn't need a visa. So I was thinking, maybe I can go to Malaysia. Maybe I can go to Thailand. Maybe I can go to Zim, because my heart was telling me go home. Like, I wanted to go home, to be honest. It had been 7 years ever since I'd been at home, and I was planning to even go home that summer. But yeah, here we were. So part of me really did want to go home. So I went into prayer and fasting, and I was asking God, I was asking him, what should I do with my life? And that's when he told me that I should go to Poland. Because as I was fasting, I just had this like so yeah, that's when God just kind of revealed to me that I should go to Poland. I saw a video. It was so random. Like, I saw a video of one agency talking about Poland. Then I began to just like figure out how much it was to be studying here, and I started to just research. I didn't have much time because, mind you, at work people didn't know what was going on, because I didn't want people to know. I just didn't want people to know. So yeah, so I was going to work and everything, but I really would find time, and I was just researching about these things. I was researching about Thailand, I was researching about Poland, I was researching about Malaysia. In my research, I did find out that I could be able to afford to move to Poland, but the issue is it is very hard to get a visa date. It was not the most wisest decision, because as I was doing my research, I would find like in the comments of like YouTube videos, I would find people saying like, oh, this is a waste of time to apply to Poland from Africa. I have I've been waiting for visa for 2 years. Another person would say, I've been waiting to get a visa date for 8 months. Or I now had to get a refund from the school and things like that. So I knew that this is risky, but I just trusted God. Like, to be honest, I just trusted God, and I was like, I'm going to Poland. So, and I told my parents, like, I'm coming back home. Yo, my parents are so stressed because they thought, of course, it was like an attack. It was like some spiritual attack, but at the same time, God is God. Like, he's the one who has dominion over everything. And so if he lets something happen, it's because he let it happen, and we just need to trust him. So although it was an attack, it's like God was just like kind of like used everything to work for my good. And in fact, it was part of God's plan for my life anyways. So yeah, so so during this time, I now figure out, okay, I want to go to Poland. Now I have my mind made up. I book my ticket to go back to Zim. I pick everything. I even went on a trip a few days prior to leaving. It was such a wonderful trip. I went to Haiko, and it was really, really nice. I loved it. Yeah, so I packed my little I packed my bags and tried to fit 7 years of my life into 2 suitcases, and I left China, you guys. I did cry, of course. I cried when I was in the airport. I did cry, you guys, because this was my life. It was all I knew. And although I had this, I knew that God wants me to go to Poland. You know, you never know. You never really what was going to become of my life. All I knew in my adulthood was China, and now I'm leaving and I'm going to Zim. It's a completely different ecosystem. So it was just like, okay. I went back home and I spent 6 wonderful months there, applying to schools and stuff like that. It was really, really good time for me. I got to spend time with my family. I got to dive deeper into prayer. I got to just, you know, go to church, because in Sanya there wasn't really a church, and I used to work on Sunday, so I wasn't able to go to church. So I was, for the first time, I wasn't alone in this journey with the Lord. I was now joined, all of a sudden, like, I'm together with my family, maybe 5 more people who love the Lord and who are seeking after him just as much as I am. And it was wonderful. We would pray together. It was just so good. Like, I needed that. I needed the time that I spent at home, and people at home needed me at home as well. Yeah, so fast forward, I was working. I then because I was actually applying to Italy as well as Poland, and by the grace of God, truly I was able, God like fulfilled the word that he gave me, and I got a visa. It was not easy. What we needed to do was to send an email, and then that email would all, like, everybody was supposed to send an email at 12 noon, and afterwards they would pick who's gonna get visa based off who sent their email, whose email reached first into the system, something like that. So through that selection process, I got selected. I got my visa. I had to go to South Africa. It was very tedious, but hey, I had to do what I had to do. Then I left Zim. So now I'm going to talk about how it was like to start over in a new country at 25. No job, no boyfriend, no job, no boyfriend, no money, just God. Just God, you guys. Yeah, so I came here in November, and at this time I've expanded like every bit of my savings. Yeah, I have. And I'm starting over. I'm starting over in a new country, new possibilities, and I'm a student. It's been a long time ever since I've been a student, and it's been a long time ever since I'd been unemployed. Like, yeah. But honestly, it was not much. It was not such a hard time, because I just took the time that I was unemployed to really seek the Lord, such that it was really nice and refreshing, because I got to spend a lot of time in my word. And I knew this. I knew that I needed to you know, to use the time that I have to get closer to the Lord, because once I'll start to work, if I balance work and school, it would be very hard for me to spend that much time with God. So during this time, I'll spend hours and hours and hours just reading the Bible and things like that, because also I'm new, so I don't really have like that many friends. I did know a few people, but I still do know a few people, but I didn't really have like that would be taking up my time, if that makes sense. So yeah, and then eventually I did get a job, and then I did start working, and it's okay. Like, God just here and there would always provide for me. I had some part-time work I'm still doing now, and it's okay. It is what it is. It's not something to really worry about. God has just been walking with me and just showing me that he can in fact provide for me, and I do just live in that reassurance that God wouldn't just bring me here and not like provide for me. You wouldn't bring me here to struggle. So yeah, so I'm pretty secure in that. And yeah, so I think, yeah, we've reached the end of this video. I hope that you guys now have a better understanding of how I migrated and why I left China, and how my life is going here in Poland. If you have any questions, especially about Poland, like a lot of people are very interested in life here in Poland, and if you're one of those people, please type in the comment section, and just let me know what exactly you want to know, and perhaps I can make a video just talking and explaining about how life here is. I will be showing a lot about to show through vlogs how life here is. I'm planning on doing a grocery shopping vlog, so that you guys can just see how much groceries are here and how much we can get with like $50 or something like that. So yeah, so there's that. But I do know that there's a lot of other information that people may want to know, and I'm just encouraging you to write the message, like write the question in the comment section, or if you think it's quite personal, you can also send me an email or a DM on Instagram, and I can read it. And if I have enough questions, or if I see that there is need, I'll make another video talking about life in Poland, or life as a student, or life as a worker, like as somebody working and studying and doing their masters or something like that. So yeah, God bless you. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Don't forget to subscribe and to comment.